Hi, book besties, and welcome to Live Life Between the Lines. If you are new here, my name is Olivia, and welcome to our little book club. This is the first episode for Satan's Affair. As you can see, the book is not big like the other books. The other books are hefty. These are like some Harry Potter books, kind of big. So I will be going over this entire book in this episode. It was only 11 chapters and epilogue, so that's enough to fit in this chapter. Let's get into chapter 1. Guys, I am not used to reading books like this. This series of books is completely different to what I'm used to reading. Like, I can watch Saw and stuff like that and not be grossed out. Like, of course, I'm gonna be like, but it's not like this. I was cringing on some of these scenes, and I will get into the one scene that had my whole body like, ugh. Because it's different, like, when you're reading the book versus watching it. I feel like it's different. It's a different type of, it's so much detail that goes into it. Like in the first chapter when she plopped out his eyeball, and I'm just like, girl, this is only page 2 and you already popping somebody's eyeball out with a knife. It doesn't tell you who the main character is just yet, like the names or anything like that. So I was kind of trying to guess just by the vibe. I felt like, oh, no lie, I feel like this is Sibby. Like, this has to be Sybil. Has to be Sybil. Just based off of course, I've already read book 2 of Hunting Adeline. So I've already got an introduction to her. So when I'm reading this, I'm like, yeah, this sounds exactly like Sybil. Even though I haven't seen her crazy side, I still got a little glimpse of her. So far, I noticed that, oh, this is some type of like haunted house circus kind of thing. Ask me if I will ever go to anything like that. Like, I can't tell you the last time I actually went to a haunted house. But I feel like after reading this book, I ain't going to no haunted house. And it's so funny because I be trying to get like my cousins or them to go to haunted houses. Like, we be trying to make the plan, but we all scary. So we be all like, yeah, we should go to a haunted house. We should go to a haunted house. And then we don't go. But this book right here, let them speak of any type of haunted house. I'm not going. No, I'm good. I'll be on the Ferris wheel. I'll be at the food stands, but I'm not walking into no haunted house for some crazy girl in the walls to judge me and say I smell like rotten eggs. No, let me smell like daisies, flowers, tulips, anything of the sort, but not no rotten eggs. Cause, anyway, so then I started reading more into the book, and I'm just like, oh, she nasty. She's nasty. She be getting down and dirty with her henchmen. Oh my gosh. I was like, oh, y'all real nasty. And it's 5 of them. All of the nasty scenes that happen, I do end up rating them on a scale of 1 to 10. I will be doing that the entire time through the book series. So when she was sitting on the chair after she had just killed that man, and the henchman, I forgot which henchman, came and gave her head, and I was like, oh, okay, y'all nasty, but y'all nasty. Because she got blood all over her. Somebody else's blood all over her. And I get it. The warnings clearly state there is blood play. But that is nasty. Okay, so yeah, it's a 5 out of 10 for me. Because I was trying to get into it like, okay, a little head action. And then I just kept picturing the blood. And I'm just like, I'm not into that. I don't know if y'all into that, but I'm not into that. That ain't it for me. Okay, so especially somebody else's. It ain't even hers. It's somebody else's. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's jump over into getting into chapter 2. Okay. So for chapter 2, guys, this chapter I think is where most of my questions came into play cuz I'm trying to figure out, is this justifiable? I was going to ask that question for y'all. I was going to ask, do y'all feel like what she is doing is justifiable? Hi guys. So, I look slightly different. This is a whole different recording. When I was editing, I noticed that my video was completely ruined, terrible. Like this, it was such static. My voice was high pitched. The words wasn't matching up with what I was saying. It was just a whole lot going on. I don't know why my video came out like that. I don't know if I got like a phone call mid recording. I don't really remember, but something happened to the video that I was supposed to be recording, so now I have to re-record the video. Thank goodness it was only chapter 2 that I have to re-record, but let's go ahead and get into it. So we were talking about, is it justifiable of what she was doing? Because I feel like she's trying to be more of like an anti-hero, but where I'm kind of like, I'm not sure if I'm on your side or not, is because, yeah, she has some type of mental situation going on. Like, something most definitely is wrong with her. Especially around the times where she doesn't know if she should, like, say if somebody pissed her off, they don't have a bad scent, but they pissed her off and she's like, I really want to kill you right now, kind of thing. That's where I'm just like, I'm not really on your side with things like that. But I see what she's trying to do. Like I said, she kind of gives like anti-hero. Like, she's not the villain, but she's not the hero either, because she doesn't take it the justice route. She's taking it the I'm gonna take care of you myself route. But the thing is she always correct the route that she's taking? Is she always, because she's going based off of her scent. But that's the thing, is the scent 100%? Is that a real thing? Because this isn't no like supernatural kind of book. So that's what kind of throws me off, is your scent might not be 100% true. So I have a lot of questions that aren't answered yet, and that's why I'm not sure if I'm on her side or not. Also, yeah, she has a bit of a temper. Also, she made a comment on like page 15 about like animals and stuff like that. And yeah, most of the population of the world eats meat, right? And then of course you have the population that are vegetarians and stuff like that, who choose not to eat meat for religious reasons, for, animal cruelty, for whatever reason, people choose not to eat meat. But the thing with her is, she was saying, the poor animals. So is that a reason to also be smelling like rotten eggs? Because I just had a burger or something from but at the same time, she also was talking about eating Philly cheesesteaks. Anyway, I don't know. I can't keep up with Sybil's mind, because then I'm going to be going crazy just like her. But I don't like her dad. I don't like her dad at all. I just don't like the fact that her dad be playing with the Lord. That's what bothers me. Like, you're not about to sit up here and play with the word of God. Not at all. So I'll just say what she did to him most definitely was justifiable. And then the guy that sexually assaulted his girlfriend, oh, you too. Now, y'all, let me look at my notes and see if I don't remember. I think she got I think she dealt with him in chapter 3, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she dealt with him in chapter 3 or what, but to the guy who sexually assaulted his girlfriend, she dealt with you. She dealt with you good. Even though I was disgusted when I read the way she dealt with you, and had the nerve. Oh, let me not, because I think it is in chapter 3. Let me see, because I did rate it. Yep. In chapter 3 is when she dealt with him. Because I don't remember what I said for chapter 3. Sibby has way too many siblings. And of course, that has to do with her dad being how he is. And no lie, I thought it was the funniest thing ever when Sybil called him Lucifer's bitch. Because that's exactly what I want to call him. Like, he has a very evil spirit attached to him, and I was not here for any of his shenanigans at all. Like, it's just he was just disgusting in my opinion. So every time, he came into the book and I'm, like reading anything about him, I just wasn't here for it. Like him stabbing her in the hand with the fork, or just any little thing, like the things that he was doing to those girls. The fact that they're having kids at such a young age, like 12, 13 years old, like that is disgusting. And that's the thing with these books. Like, there is so many disgusting men in these books, and women. Actually, let me not forget the women, because especially, like I said, coming from Hunting Adeline, there is disgusting women in this book as well, and in that book specifically. But yeah, I can understand why she mentally got some issues going on. Let's go ahead and get into chapter 4. Okay, so for chapter 4, personally, I think it started to get into more details of how Sybil minds work a little bit. Like she has a good, middle, and evil kind of vibe when she uses her senses, but still you're not necessarily knowing where the line is drawn. She saw a young boy getting yelled at by his dad, and she rated him like asshole, because when she smelled him, he didn't smell bad. He just smelled like an asshole basically. So that's where she kind of drew the line, like, you know what, I'm gonna still take his wallet so I can get something to eat, but I'm not gonna off him or whatever. So again, I don't know where she draws the line, so I don't really know what to say about if I feel like what she's doing is justifiable. But let's get into this little scene that we got in this chapter. I rate this one a 7. I rate this one a 7 because I was here for the assertiveness. I was here for the aggression. But the reason why I didn't get no 10 is because I like to breathe. Okay? The way he was choking her, I was just like, oh, she can't breathe for real. Like, she can't breathe. Yeah, I'm not here for that type of aggression. Little soft play aggression is fine. There's a level, like I don't want the pain rate to be at a 10 or even a 5, maybe a little 3 or something. Like, don't be choking me and I'm over here eyes bulged out, like eyes are red because I can't breathe. That ain't cute. That ain't cute at all. And I'm speaking from my personal opinion. I don't like that. So that's why I rate that one a 7. But I would love to know what y'all would rate some of these. And then the ending. I have an opinion on this one, and I'm actually just going to read what I wrote word for word, because I don't want to sum it up and kind of miss some things of what I was how I was feeling when I was reading that chapter. So this is speaking on Sybil then already had got Gary, tied him up, he on the wall, and she goes back to listen in on Jennifer that's in the room, and she notices Jennifer's crying. She's upset, and she's just like, he didn't come, and he didn't come and talk to me. He didn't come and find me. Like, he didn't even put in the effort. So Sybil's upset because she's just like, how dare you? I took, I took this man. I'm about to, execute this man for you. How dare you be upset that he didn't come after he, sexually assaulted you? How dare you? That's how she's feeling. So this is my opinion on Sybil's rage towards Jennifer. So I was like, the ending of the chapter annoyed me a little bit. In an ideal world, after Gary sexually assaulted Jennifer should have reported this to the cops, told a trustworthy friend or family member, blocked him, and never speak to him again, and probably go as far as getting a restraining order. But not everyone is like that, and it's not a good or bad thing. Call me gullible, but I truly believe that when a woman is in a toxic situation, when her mind is completely made up and is over it, everything changes in her mind, her body, her spirit. But Jennifer sounds like she just haven't made it to that point yet. This is probably very confusing to her, so for Sybil to get mad and judge her like that annoys me. But then again, all Sybil screws aren't tight either. So that's what I said. So to go into it, like, you never know how you're going to react in a situation like that. And of course, like I said, the thing to do is be like, oh, get out my life, leave me alone. But I'm pretty sure we have all seen different situations and scenarios where someone stays in that situation knowing that they probably should get out of that situation. And we never know their reasoning for staying. You never know. You're not in that situation. You never know. So I'm not going to speak on she should have stayed. That's the easiest thing to say, is that she should have stayed. But as you can tell, she's confused. She doesn't know what's going on. Like, of course she feels like, oh, he sexually assaulted me because I told him no. But I think she still wanted some type of, like, she wanted to hear why would you do that? Like, what was the reason? So that's just my take or my interpretation on why she still felt sad. And like I said, Sybil for sure jumped the gun and was just like, most definitely was being rude and was calling her all type of names and calling her ungrateful and this and that. But again, Sybil ain't in that situation. Mind you, okay, Sybil has been in a terrible situation, especially with dealing with her dad. So it's kind of one of those things where, and I think she also said, like, with her mom, why did her mom stay in that situation? Why didn't her mom leave? Kind of thing. And she questioned that. So why not question, okay, why is this girl not happy that he didn't come and see her? Stuff like that. So that's just my little take on that. So let's jump into chapter 5. Okay. So in chapter 5, it's going over the things that she's doing to Gary. Is that his name? Hold on, let me go back. Yeah. The things that she's doing to Gary. Hard read. This chapter was a hard read, okay? Because even thinking about it has me shivering, okay? So first, let's go back. She was making comments about killing Jennifer, like she wanted to kill Jennifer because of this. And it goes back to what I was talking about in chapter 5 of her anger being put towards Jennifer not being happy of what she has done for her. Even though Jennifer don't know who this girl is, like, she's like, I don't even know that you did that for me, kind of thing. But Sybil has made comments about killing innocent people just because she's mad. Like when those girls knocked over her cotton candy and she was just pissed off about it. That's where I'm just like, where does she draw the line? Because she doesn't smell evil on those people, but she's willing to kill them. So that's when I'm just like, I'm not on her side at all when it comes to this. It's just one of those situations of, where is her mind at? That's what I'm really more curious about. But when she got Gary, y'all, the ending, I think, is what really had me flabbergasted. And I don't even know the things that she did to that guy. Now, I'm not saying that I feel sorry for the man, because I don't. I don't at all. He knew what he did to that girl, and he knew what he did was wrong. So, personally, I don't, but at the same time, she messed that man up. Okay? I was telling this to my girlfriend, and I was explaining to her like the book and what happened in the book, and the whole time she's just like, ugh, ugh, like, and I was like, I know, like, this is nasty. Okay, y'all would just have to read the ending of chapter 5, because, and don't eat anything if you're gonna read that. Let me just jump over to chapter 6. Chapter 6 was literally a whole sex scene. That's all it was a whole sex scene. My rating on this was a 5. Either a 5 or maybe a 4. 5. I would say a 5. I would give it a 50-50. And I only give it a 5 because, one, I'm not into blood play. So, of course, every time her and her henchmans want to be hunching, she always bloodied. She had, like, just killed somebody. She got some blood on her and stuff like that. And I'm just like, y'all, this is nasty. This is so unsanitary. So, that's one. And I think it throws me off because after reading what she did to the man, I'm already in a disgusted feeling. And then to go into reading the sex scene, I just was I already felt disgusted. I already felt disgusted. So, the reason why I gave it positive, like why I got the 5, is because I was here for the creativity. Okay, she found a way for 5 of her henchmen to do things to her at the same time. I'm trying not to get too explicit, but we'll see farther along, I guess, in the episodes how I feel comfortable. But yeah, she most definitely found a way they found a way for her henchmen to get all freaky nasty, all 5 of them. Like, the angles was angling for sure. So I thought that was creative. I was snap. I was here for that. Let's jump into chapter 7. Okay, so in chapter 7 is mostly explaining I guess it's more of a backstory to Sybil's life. So it says about 18 years old. I don't know if that means she is 18 years old or is that like 18 years ago. I don't know. I was a little confused about that. So I would love to hear what y'all think about that because I got a little confused with that. But I knew it was a backstory. So I'm going to read what I said and then we'll just go into that. So anyways, my take on this chapter is short, but damn, I can see why she's mentally unstable. Her dad is an unholy preacher that bullies, beats, and rapes women and children. And her mom is a frail woman that tried to protect her child the best way she could, but was so scared of her baby daddy rapist. She endured the abuse till she couldn't take it no more, killed herself, but hoped that her daughter could carry out killing him, which I'm pretty sure she did based on the beginning chapters, she doesn't mind killing, of course. The Sybil don't mind killing no freaking body. But I'm pretty sure her dad was like her first kill. It doesn't go into like a very detailed scene of what she did exactly to her dad. I think she most definitely stabbed him a few times, like a lot of times, after he ended up killing one of the women in the compound that disagreed or disobeyed his rules or something like that. Killed her, so Sybil took the chance and killed him. Um, it was literally just a few sentences of that, so it wasn't a lot of details of what she did. I don't think she like tortured him or anything like that. But yeah, like the scene of her mom, I think that was so sad to me, cuz she was just saying like she didn't know when her mom had even passed away. She was just laying there staring at her, not knowing if she was staring at a dead corpse or not really realizing when she even went. She's thinking that her mom is asleep, but does she know that her mom probably ended up passing away probably right after they lay down or so. So like I said, it was going to be short for chapter 7, and then we're going to jump into chapters 8. Okay, so for chapter 8, I did have a question. So in the beginning chapters, I thought that she worked at the haunted house. And I did have a few questions because I was like, how does she work here, but she's always in the walls? Like, are they not asking, like, why isn't she at her post? Why isn't she in the room she's supposed to be in, or anything like that? So I think it ended up answering my question either in this chapter, chapter 8, or in the next chapter. Eventually, it said, like, oh, she does not work at this haunted house. She just hides in the walls. So her henchmen, they it said that they work at the haunted house. But let's get to the part to where she pissed me off. She would rather go after the guy in the hood than to go after the other 4 guys that has the rotten egg scent. She said she couldn't get the rotten egg scent off the hooded man, but she got the rotten egg scent off of the other 4 guys. So that threw me. You would rather go after him. Take your time, go after him, when those other 4 guys could be going after the girls that was in there. So I'm just like, what is your problem? Like, threw me. So then I'm just like, why can't she get her henchmen to go and get the other guys or something? And I guess she kept saying, oh, she didn't want her cover to be blown and this and that. But I'm like, one of them or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like it could have been a way better plan than what actually went on. So let's get into chapter 9. Chapter 9, it did confirm that that was Zayd. And like, it's the eye color. For me, it's the one's dark black and the other one's like a blue or something like that. I'm here for it because that is so cool to me. I think that is so cool to me. But chapter 9 was quick. Sybil was just pissing me off in chapter 8 and 9. So then we're gonna jump into chapter 10. Okay, so for chapter 10, when I was reading my notes, I didn't really have much to say. Just that I enjoyed reading it. Like, it started to give more of a build up. And I realized, because at first I was going back and forth about whether I wanted to read the standalones. And then the more I read this one, I realized, okay, I'm very interested. I must see it through. I'm gonna read all of the standalones, and if she comes out with more, I most definitely will read those too on here. But I didn't really have much to say about chapter 10. I think I just enjoyed the read. So what happened in this chapter was, if my memory serves me right, Zayd was trying to interrogate the guys, and Sybil was kind of going back and forth between whether she trust him or if she didn't. And she did end up going crazy on one of the guys and killed him. And he kind of just stopped. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna have to get into this kind of quick because I'm having a lot of technical difficulties. So let me get into these two chapters. So in chapter 11, Zayd and Sybil are the cutest thing ever. They have the cutest dynamic duo, kind of feel like brother sister vibe that I was so here for. Even though she wasn't feeling him at first, you know, she eventually warmed up. And I think that lady called the cops. The wife of one of the perverted man, I think she called the cops, which is wild. I think that's wild, but I really think she called the cops. So let's get into the epilogue. I'm gonna read off what I typed down because this is how I was feeling in the moment of me reading it. Okay, so yes, the question I had was, were her henchmen real or fake? I was curious because in Hunting Adeline, Zayd made a comment about them being fake, and while reading the book, it threw me off because the way she was explaining everything and interacting with them, I think it really just threw me off whether they were real or fake or not. The mind is such a crazy thing. Like, even with the sense of smell, I looked it up and it is a real thing. And I was just like, wow. Like, even though the mind is a creative thing, it's also a scary thing because you see how her being in that situation created her mind to make up human beings to the point to where she was actively doing everything. Like, oh, guys, like, to the point to where even the nasty things that she was doing with her henchmen, she was doing this with mannequins. She was literally doing this with mannequins. And I'm just like, oh, you talking about flabbergasted. So I don't even know what to say. I'm lost for words because reading that, like, I went through that chapter so quick on like how I was so intrigued with her interaction with this lady. But I just feel like personally I want to know how she off that lady. And that lady knew her time was coming on how she kind of like widened her eyes when she saw Sybil smile. And I was like, oh, she is about to mess you up with this pen. With this pen. I don't want nobody, oh, Lord forbid, I don't want to go out with no pen. That's like, that is so dull. Like, I'm looking at like a pen. No, you can have that one. But I want to know what y'all think about the ending and how y'all feel about it. So let me know in the comments, and I will see y'all for the next book.